Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League's Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have a Carabao Cup tie away against Tottenham, and we follow it up with a game in the Premier League against West Ham. Since you were last with us, we've not done too badly, but we have had a bit of a hiccup in our last couple of games. Um, you were with us for the defeat against Everton last time out. That was our first defeat of the season. We then went on to comfortably win against Leipzig, Sunderland, and Fulham. The game against Ludogorets was so frustrating. It was a 1-0 draw. Ludogorets had one shot in the 87th minute and scored it. As you can see, we absolutely dominated them for the whole game, and we just couldn't convert our chances for whatever reason. And then we followed it up with a 2-1 defeat at home against Brentford. It was again a game in which we were by far the better side. We did have to rotate a little bit, but there was no reason why the team that we put out there couldn't have won that match. And again, a goal in the last 10 minutes, seeing us drop points. From that, Premier League is looking still quite reasonable, to be fair. We have got a game in hand over Arsenal, which if we win, we will be within 2 points of them. They have not lost a game as of yet in their opening 10 league games. And we're looking a lot better than last season, put it that way. And to be fair, I mean, last season we finished the season with, where are we? There we are, 68 points. And we're almost a third of the way there already. And we've only played a quarter of the games in the campaign. So we're certainly on target to better last season. It's just going to be a case of refinding that form that we had at the very start of the season, of course, when we were unbeaten. So we need to go into today with the idea of getting a couple of good wins under our belts. And again, in terms of rotation, I'm not too sure exactly where we stand with it. It's been a bit of a strange one. But when we've rotated, we don't seem to have had as much about us um, as the regular first team. Hadjo and Valencia are out injured at the moment. Usmanu and Correa currently struggling for fitness. Youngblood is coming into the attacking midfield and Sonogo's pushing up front. Um, and yeah, Siles is coming into the defensive midfield. Usmanu isn't quite fully fit. He can probably play 75 minutes, and to be fair, I'd rather have him in there than Siles. He's certainly settled into the side reasonably well. Um, he scored a few goals for us as well in the early part of the season. But other than that, it is a full strength squad for us today. And I'm hoping we can go out there and get another victory in the cup. To be honest, it's we've got every opportunity of winning trophies this season, same as we did last year. We got away with it last year. We managed to win the Europa League, obviously, but in terms of other tournaments, I think we can really do well this season. It's just going to be a case of getting out there and getting the business done. Hopefully, that starts today, and we can just regain our form after that draw against Ludogorets and the defeat to Brentford. And we're certainly capable. We've already proven that at the start of the campaign as Dixon picks it up into Youngblood and now Cook. Moving it into Youngblood. Just controlling possession. Chance to play it back potentially. Finds Cook again into Alves. And there's Sonogo. It's a good block by the defender. Sonogo does pick it up again on that right hand side. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing there. He just decided to let it roll out behind him, which was a bit of a strange highlight to have, wasn't it? But early stages would suggest we're definitely on the front foot. 4 attempts at goal so far to Tottenham's one. Yet to have an attempt on target. Romano swinging it into the far post. Medina couldn't get there, but it's fallen for Biner, and that is a lovely, controlled, half-volleyed finish into the bottom corner from the right back. That's a very, very neat goal, isn't it? And we take the lead here. And apologies again, I don't know why it's doing it, but we've got the glitch again where there's no fans in the ground. And again, I'm really not sure what's going on with it, but it is what it is. But we take the lead here. Half an hour gone now. Tottenham just getting their first attempts on target. But this is a good game for us. If we can get a decent win today, it'll just bring us up a little bit again in confidence. Tennis has taken a slight knock. He's just stubbed his finger by the looks of it. But it should be okay. He shouldn't have too many issues there. And hopefully we can go out in the second half and just get a little bit more comfortable in the game. Here's Dixon under immediate pressure, finds Cook, and he lovely little dink pass into Alves, and again a nice little turnaround, and that's a lovely pass through from Youngblood, and there is Sonogo, and that is a brilliant goal out from the back. I'm hoping he stayed on side there. I'm pretty sure he did stay on side, but I'm not too sure. He's actually been disallowed, so no, he didn't. He was offside in the end. I thought he was onside. It was a really well worked move. Um, but Tottenham, to be fair, have ended up looking like the better side in the match. They've had 3 attempts on target out of 8 attempts at goal. They've really seemed to have turned this game around. We are going to demand a little bit more from the team, to be honest. Despite us winning, we are letting Tottenham control the game at the moment. Here is Dixon into Romano. Plays it inside to Youngblood. We're going to have to be a little bit careful with him. He is on that yellow card, of course. And now Usmanu. Good little run from him. Plays it inside to Medina. It's a nice pass into him. And that is, again, a very good finish. There's no chance of offside this time. And we do double our advantage here at Tottenham's ground. And at 2-0, we're looking pretty strong now. But there's still plenty of time left. Still about 25 minutes to go, plus injury time, of course. We will have to make some changes because Cook is struggling for fitness there as well. So I'm just going to pause there momentarily. Usmanu supposedly was only fit enough to play 75 minutes, but he's still looking quite strong at the moment. We'll get, to be fair, we'll get Siles and Hayes on in that central midfield. Medina is struggling for fitness again. Guillem can come on for him. We'll drop Sonogo into attacking midfield and bring Almada on for Youngblood. Again, we don't want to risk any suspension. And other than that, we'll save the last substitution in case we really need it. But it's been a very good performance. And yes, changing that central midfield partnership could be a bit of a mishap, but we'll see how it goes. Rippis will just bring on as a last quick substitution for Romano for the last 10 minutes. It's been, to be fair, a relatively even game, but to be fair, we have taken our chances today, which is something we didn't do in our last couple of games. So I'm a lot happier with the performance, despite it not being as dominant as we could have been. Sonogo into Alves, into the area, and there is Almada to make it 3-0. We don't deserve to be 3-0 up, it has to be said. He may have been slightly offside again. I'm not sure if he was. And I think it's going to be given this time. And it is given this time. And again, Tottenham don't deserve to have lost 3-0 today. It's been a lot closer game than the scoreline suggests. But we've taken our chances and we'll certainly take it. And we head into the next round of the Carabao Cup. Games are going to be coming thick and fast as well. In this month of November and especially December, we have got a lot of matches in December. Here is Biner, Udogi picks it up, lays it across to James, who clears, and Butterfield tries to nod it on, and Rippis picks it up. We're into the last few seconds here. I don't know if it's going to show us with another opportunity or not. Dixon into Hayes. Tries to play it through, and Guillem picks it up. He's actually been brought down there by Udogi, and it could be 4-0. And again, it's very harsh on Tottenham, really. They haven't deserved this. They haven't had many highlights in the game, to be fair, despite the number of chances they've had. But we have a chance to win the game by 4-0. It's a penalty kick, and it's going to be Sonogo to take the penalty. And again, he's been a bit quiet today, Sonogo. I'm not too sure what's going on with him at the moment, but he's not. I mean, it's his 9th goal of the season. He's had a really good start to the campaign, in all fairness, but he's not quite doing it as regular as we hoped he would, especially for the amount of money that we invested into him. But that penalty does confirm a 4-0 victory over Tottenham. And again, very even game. Both sides with 6 shots on target, 50% possession practically each. Tottenham actually had more attempts at goal in total, but again, they had no highlights practically in the match. A very strange game. But again, we'll certainly take it. We've got the victory, and hopefully we can take that into our game in the Premier League against West Ham. And again, we're away from home, so it's not going to be easy. And like I say, the game's coming thick and fast. So West Ham's in 3 days. 3 days after that is Leverkusen. And then we've got a little bit of a longer break for the Leeds game. And then we've got Chelsea and then Manchester City in the Champions League. Like I say, we've got West Ham second part of this episode. And we'll probably come back for Aston Villa and Derby at the start of December. and then we'll push on because you can see how many games we've got in December. It's a mental schedule. Got the Carabao Cup tie in there as well. And then we'll probably come back at the end of December for Sheffield United and Manchester City. Well, to be fair, Arsenal are right up there with us as well. So we might miss out Sheffield United and do Arsenal and City, but we'll see how things go in the meantime. We've got to focus on what's happening here and now, though, haven't we? And 2 days until the West Ham game, so bear with me. We'll just get through that, and hopefully we can get back to winning ways in the Premier League. Okay, guys, here we go for the game away against West Ham. We are having to rotate a bit, as you can imagine, with the build-up of games. We have got to give other players an opportunity. I don't particularly want to, because last time we did, it ended up in defeat against Brentford. If we put out a reasonably full strength side, fitness-wise, we are looking okay, but it is going to be a bit of a struggle. We'll put the same starting lineup out and see how far we get. Sonogo will actually drop into the attacking midfield, though, and Almada will start up front. Other than that, I think the squad is the same. Rippis starts at left back, but I'd rather just do a couple of changes. I don't like changing the full team, especially the Premier League is such an important part of our campaign. We've got to really go out there with the full strength side, but the assistant manager continues to want to rotate fully for the Premier League and focus on the cuts, which is a bit of a strange one. And we know how good West Ham can be. They've had the beating of us a few times, albeit we've beaten them. I think we beat them the last time out, but the time before that they put four past us, didn't they? So it's going to be a tough game. Arsenal continue their unbeaten start to the season with a 1-0 win away at Burnley. Incidentally, I had a look at the fixtures. Our last three games of the campaign are Arsenal, Sheffield United, and Manchester City. Um, so that could be a huge last three games of the season, depending on how the campaign goes. We try and get it away here, and it's a brilliant save in the end from Arnel Tennis. It was a very poor defensive header to keep it into the penalty area. And West Ham continue the pressure here with Sule into Perryman. Tries to cut inside, gets the strike away, but it's poor. And it goes over the crossbar. Again, relatively even game so far, but we are dominating possession, which is good to see. But again, not really being massively creative, despite the fact that we've had 4 attempts on target out of 7. No highlights seem forthcoming, and again, players struggling for fitness, and we are going to have to rotate at some point. But at the moment, it seems very a very silly thing to do, considering the nature of every competition that we're in. And it's hard to prioritise one thing over another at the moment. Sule, again with a corner for West Ham, swings it in toward the far post. We do manage to get it pretty well clear there. And now Berger coming down this right-hand side, charges through. We've had no challenge put in, and Tennis did well to make the save, really. And again, we've got a couple of players on yellow cards. We are going to have to make changes sooner rather than later here, because we have been completely toothless today. And again, a corner swung in toward the far post from Sule. Capelli picks it up, and we look to make our clearance here as Alves picks it up. He has got support ahead of him, but Sakati making a comfortable challenge. And we are going to make changes now, to be fair, because Alves is struggling for fitness. So we'll get Cruz Moral on for him. Usmanu can come off for Hayes, and Siles is going to come on in midfield as well. Rippis can come off for Romano. And again, we'll save the last substitution for now. But I mean, Medina's been shocking. A 6.4 from him. I think, to be fair, we'll just get Guillermo on. It's a bit of a risk with 35 minutes to go, but all changes happening. And Biner has really dropped down. He's probably taken a knock there, and we're going to have to ignore it, unfortunately. And we're going to demand more because, again, we've not had a very good performance today. Cruz Moral messing about with it around our corner flag, and Berger strikes and Berger scores, and again we have made a big error defensively. And given the way Arsenal are playing at the moment, if we keep losing games like this, we're not going to be in the title race at all. We're certainly doing a lot better than last season, don't get me wrong, but again, it's silly things that are making us lose these games. And yes, I know fitness is a big concern, but that is a 1-0 defeat away from home. And again, our Premier League form is starting to turn, and we really need to pick it up going forward. And again, we didn't really have a highlight in that game. A very, very poor performance. And now the gap is 8 points to Arsenal. We played the same number of games as Manchester City, so we are still in that top four. And now we're only 5 points into the European places. At one point, we were 9 or 10 points ahead of these sides. But then two defeats against West Ham and Brentford, who are in that bottom half of the table, um, they're big defeats for us. And we need to really come back and try and sort ourselves out, because this is certainly not good enough where our Premier League aspirations are concerned. And we've got big games coming up as well. I mean, Biner is going to be definitely out. Dixon is struggling now. And Robin Berger with the goal. Very good central midfield player, isn't he? Look at the valuation on him, though. And, you know, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got some tough Champions League games. We've got Leeds at home and Chelsea away. We need to beat Leeds. There's no doubt about that. We have to beat Leeds. And Chelsea away is never an easy game, but if we can get a win there, we could look a little bit better. Um, we'll probably come back, like say, Villa and Derby at the start of December, and then we'll get a few more games done and out of the way. Incidentally, we've drawn Liverpool in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Chelsea got Oxford, Reading, Manchester City, and Newcastle, Sheffield United. So I feel that we've probably got a bit of a raw end of the deal there. We're going into the semi-final, provided we can get through. It's going to be tough anyway now, and hopefully we can find a way to push our way through. But Villa and Derby coming up tomorrow, and hopefully we can get a bit of a run going, because one win in our last four matches, considering the way we've started the campaign, is not good enough, and improvements needed. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.